Caused a fumble already.
Billy talked about the challenge, but also the opportunity. How do you guys view that as players going against number one team that's kind of, owned this series a bit for several years?
Man, we view it as a great opportunity, a big opportunity, because we know it's a game that we're gonna all have to come together as a team and all execute on all phases of the game, and we have to come together, especially as a defense. And we ready for the challenge. We know it's gonna be real challenging. We know they're gonna bring their lunchbox, and we are too. So we're just very looking forward to that, and we're gonna work this week. Work on everything we need to work on, dial up everything, make sure everything's crisp, everything's sound. Just looking forward to heading to Jacksonville on Saturday, out there executing, having fun, playing ball.
What gives you hope that you guys, you guys have had some high points. You played well at Tennessee, beat Utah, had some other moments. What do you guys kind of dig in on to say, hey, we can compete with these guys?
We just a few plays away. Just a few plays away. We know all this hard work we're putting in. It's not for nothing, but we just a few plays away. We just feel like we're so close, but we just feel like it's something there that we're missing. And it's a reason why we can't break that barrier. But I feel like we can figure it out this week. We're gonna work towards breaking that barrier this week on trying to find the recipe for us to have success in those big time games and those close moments. So we're just working on that, trying to see the analytics and do the best that we do, not just our defensive style coaches, but as players to see what's the problem and what we need to get fixed.
How frustrating is it to know that you are just a few plays away from being 7-0, and how encouraging is it to know that if you can make up for those mistakes,
Yes,
that you can be so much better?
Yes, sir. It's frustrating, but it gives you hope as well, because you also understand that it takes a lot of work to get those things done, and you understand that what we have come from, and we see that what we have done over the past this season, we see that there's hope in there. We see that we can put some. It's just another step that we can take just to break that barrier. And we understand that we can take that step if we just focus a little harder, work a little harder, and put a little more focus into it, put a little bit more emphasis on certain things.
Works together, but like what would be the number one thing in your mind that you would like to fix on defense? Third down defense, run defense, sacks. They're all down.
Just third down and affecting the quarterback, really. Third down, affecting the quarterback, taking some of the heat off our DBs, because our DBs over the past this season, they have in coverage. Our linebackers as well have done an exceptional job. I feel like we can just up front as rushing four. I feel like we can affect the quarterback more. Just be more precise in our rushes and understanding who we're actually up against.
How would you rate the offensive line then?
Oh, great, good offensive line. They got some good guys. They got some older guys, big guys, can move. Just what you would see in one of those top-notch SEC offensive lines, and they prepare, and we're going to prepare as well.
Being a 22-point under, right? How many times have you been a 22-point underdog, and what does that do psychologically for a team?
It gets you up, it riles you up, because you feel like it's kind of disrespect, because we both not put in the same work, but we both put on our cleats the same. We understand that yes, this team is high combatants, but we got a chance too. We always had a fighter's punch. There's always a fighter's punch in these games, and just feel like we can take over this game and just be successful in all phases if we just all come together and execute. And we understand that also they are high combatants, but we are too.
Us through what the bye week looked like. Billy mentioned that you guys kind of went over some of the things that might have been contributing to the struggles.
A whole lot of corrections, just correcting some things, trying to get some things worked up. Not going overboard, but really just kind of getting after, especially early on in the week at practice, getting after it with each other, just kind of staying on the edge, because it is a bye week. So you want to take advantage of those days where you can bang, and you want to take advantage of those days where you can lay off too, and kind of just get those mental reps.
To a regular week in terms of the physicality?
Maybe the first 3 days, maybe the first 2-3 days we got after it a little bit, but as the week died down, we slowed it down and we toned it down. It got more mental.
You guys bring more pressure on the quarterback some. What do you think has been holding you guys back consistency-wise in terms of?
I just feel like up front we could just be a little bit more effective with our hands, because we got some great guys rushing up front. Got some great guys. Just be more effective, because a lot of the times we get pressures where we're just about there. The thing is, like, it's a difference between sacks and pressures. Like seconds, inches between. It's a difference between that sack and then a pressure. So you just want to try to get more of those sacks and try to just affect the QB more. Try to rattle guys and get them off of their game and get them off of their throwing.
Is it stunning to you that the defense hasn't been a little more consistent, given the
Yeah.
talent on that side of the
Yes,
ball?
I feel like we're a very, very talented defense. We just have to bring it all together, and we all understand that it's gonna take work and it's gonna take time. But at this point, it's a matter of time, and that time's coming up and time's ticking. So we just got to take advantage of it. We got to look at this moment. We got to seize it. We got to put our best foot forward as a defense, as a team.
Miller meant to the defense.
Ventrell Miller, that's general. I call him general. Like, whole thing, I call him general. Like, he's our center ground. He's gonna make sure everybody's centered. He's gonna make sure everybody's ready to play. He's gonna make sure you're ready to go. And then he's kind of like I call him. He has like the LeBron effect. He not only plays well himself, he affects everybody he plays well on the field. He's a very infectious guy. So I don't care who you are. You step on the field with Ventrell, you most likely gonna put your best foot forward because you understand that you are on the field with a guy who got you covered, and you're gonna feel comfortable playing with him.
The inconsistency on defense, do you think is between the ears, and how much of it is physical, would you say?
I feel like it's probably about 80% in between the ears, about 20% physical. It's just us. We got to see things better. We got to understand situations, about situational awareness, understanding where we are on the field and how can we take advantage of the game on that part of the field. So just taking advantage of that, and then beating teams on third down. We're getting teams on third and long. We got to take advantage of those. Those are the downs that we have to live for. We have to live on third down. We have to take advantage of that. I feel like if we take advantage of that more, we can have more production, and then it gives our offense a chance to score more points and put us in a better situation.
What are your thoughts on playing in this game and just the stadium being split and kind of being part of that atmosphere?
My first rodeo, baby. Man, it's crazy, dog. I'm stoked. I'm ready to go. I know it's gonna be crazy, but I'm all for it. I'm all for everything. I like, this is the environment I live for. All through high school, I thought about this, and just big moments and big time games like this. I understand what it takes, and I've seen guys do it. So that's why I'm so ready. Like, 'cause I've seen guys do it. I know guys that have done it. So I just want to go out there and put my best foot forward and just really just seize that moment, live there, just be there. I want to be in Jacksonville that whole day. I'm there.
Right there a little bit, but playing the number one team, defending national champion, I mean, it's very rare.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you?
It means a lot. It means a lot. It means that I feel like it means a lot because we understand that we can be potentially dangerous. Like, we're very dangerous. And we can go out there and actually compete, and not just compete, but actually it's going to actually be a football game. It's going to be a fight. So.
There's a natural rivalry in Florida, Georgia, and all that. Did you grow up disliking any particular teams more than others?
Not really. I can say I was always like, about this game, I was always in the neutral zone because I know it was going to be one or the other, and whoever won that game would probably end up going to the playoffs. So that was the main thing.
You said you've been looking forward to this game since high school.
Yes,
Playing
high
it?
school. Just because I always understood. I got guys that I grew up with, that I went to high school with, that I played in this game, and it's always been an electric game. It's going to be a tough game, a hard-fought game, and guys are going to come out ready to fight. Like, it's going to be a fight.
How would you feel about this rivalry moving to like a home and home as a player?
It really doesn't matter to me because either way, the field gonna still be the same. Everything's gonna be the same. Field gonna still be 100 yards. So it really doesn't matter to me. But I understand the tradition of it being in Jacksonville as well, which I like that. So head up to Jacksonville, play ball, man.
You were committed for a few years
Yes,
before,
sir.
so you were really building this up for a while. It wasn't like you just committed last second.
Man, when I committed, I kind of committed blindly, honestly. Then I did my research on the back end, and then I looked into it. I said, this school does produce guys up front, and they do have dominant defensive linemen that go to the league. So I just said, yeah, Florida Gator.
You haven't been to Jacksonville then? You haven't been to that stadium?
Nah,
So what are you looking forward to? What have you heard about the environment and the
I haven't
stands?
really heard much. I know it's crazy though. I know it's crazy, but that's what I'm all up for. I understand that environment. That environment has put me in a place, in a state of mind where I feel like I'm happy, a serenity, I'm home.
Would you have visited this game as a recruit if you could have?
Yes, for sure, most definitely.
Stetson Bennett, the guy you're going to be trying to tackle. What do you see in him? Because it seems to me like he doesn't make a lot of mistakes, and he's a pretty cerebral guy.
Yes, very sharp guy, very sharp quarterback. I can see that he has a very, very well understanding of the game, and he can be very, very dangerous for a defense, all because in between the ears, he can slice you up. He's an opportunistic guy with his legs, but he is dangerous with his legs as well. Very opportunistic, has a great arm, can throw, can sit back there and throw, even though being a short guy. Even though being a shorter quarterback, he can sit back there and throw. So I know he can be dangerous, but we're going to find ways to affect him and get him off his game.
I see this a lot, but what have you maybe learned to this point in the season about trying to defend against a mobile quarterback like him, and how you can kind of impact the game and how he can?
You gotta keep him in the pocket. You gotta make him throw from the pocket. You can't let him out. You can't let him out of there. You gotta keep him contained, and you have to make him move as well. But you have to keep him contained in that pocket. You gotta keep him in that bubble, and you gotta make him really analyze the defense and try to slice him. You gotta make him work. You can't let everybody else do the work for him. You can't make it easy for him on the back end either. You gotta make the quarterback work. Pressure. You gotta pressure him. You gotta sack him. Put him in bad situations to get him off his game.
Okay, got time for one more? I guess stand up here.
Why do you think that's been an issue in terms of mobile quarterbacks, and what can you guys do to fix it, you think?
Just try to keep them more contained, because as we've seen, like with Tennessee's Hendon Hooker, he can sit back there, he can tuck it and run it. He's not just a guy that can just tuck it and run. He's very, very effective with the ball in his hands, obviously in the open field. So just trying to contain those guys and get them on the ground quickly as possible. Don't let those QB runs or those scrambles out of pocket let those be explosive. We gotta contain them and not let them be explosive plays.